Good morning, students. Welcome to English class. How are you, students? Are you keeping fine? Started to study every subject. Dear students, today let's study new lesson, poem, Fable. Fable is a poem in the style of fable, and it conveys the moral that we should not judge others, but we should respect other persons' talents and capacities. Fable you have heard. Fable means that it is a short story. What is difference means the story typically with animals as characters conveying the moral. So first lesson we have some characters. Grandfather Sue. Here in this poem the characters are animals. They are speaking as persons, personification. So let's read the first page, page number 33. Have you noticed the picture there? Look at the illustration and answer the questions that follow. First, what do you think is happening in this illustration? What is happening? The lion trapped and a small mouse is trying to help it. Use two adjectives each to describe the mouse and the lion. Adjectives, already we have learned that what are called adjectives. So you know, no need for repeating. I'll tell you one, you can write another one. So we say mouse, small mouse, lion, mighty lion. Next, who is superior? How do you know that? Superior means more power. In this picture we can see the lion is having more power than the mouse. Then, have you read or heard about the story shown in this illustration? What is about? Have you ever heard about this story? Mouse and lion? Yes, all of you know what is the story there. Next. Before reading the story, let us know about the poet. Poet Ralph Waldo Emerson. He was an American poet, philosopher and essayist. Transcendentalist movement he has given importance. He was also a great proponent of individualism. Individualism means at that time, 19th century, given more freedom to express the qualities of the persons through short stories or poems, or they can convey the thoughts, expressions, etc. The mountain and the squirrel had a quarrel, and the former called the latter little prig. Bun replied, "You are doubtless very big, but all sorts of things and weather must be taken in together to make up a ear and a spear, and I think it no disgrace to occupy my place. If I am not so large as you are not so small as I, and not half so spry. I'll not deny you make a very pretty squirrel track. Talents differ, all is well and wisely put. If I cannot carry force on my back, neither can you crack a nut." Now let's read the poem and understand its meaning. The mountain and the squirrel had a quarrel, and the former called the latter little prig. The mountain and the squirrel, who among them take the fighting? Mountain and the squirrel. Then what did the former, the first, the mountain, what did call the squirrel? Little prig. Little prig, it shows the superiority of the mountain. Next, 4 to 9 lines. Bun replied. Bun means squirrel replied, "You are doubtless very big." Okay, you are very big. but all sorts of things and weather must be taken in together to make up a year and a sphere. Whatever you tell, it's okay, correct it is. Squirrel tell that is. Then goes on to say that all sorts of things and weather must come together to comprise a year and a sphere. Want to make a year and a sphere, there small, big, middles, all things come together, only we can make a year. Next 10 to 14 lines. And I think it no disgrace to occupy my place if I am not so large as you. You are not so small as I, and not half so spry. So what it tell that is, I have no disgust, no shameful. The squirrel then says that it is considers no disgrace to occupy its place in the world. It admits that if it is not so large as the mountain is also not so small as itself and not half so spry. Mountain that is not so small as the squirrel, but big. He agreed that, and the mountain could not move. It is not active like the squirrel. Next lines we see the 15 to 19 lines that I'll not deny you make a very pretty squirrel track. I'll not deny. I can agree that you can make a very pretty squirrel track. Talent different, all is well and wisely put. God has put everything wisely. If I cannot carry forest on my back, neither can you crack a nut. Asking to the mountain, okay, you are carrying me on your back, then can you crack a nut? The mountain has the ability to crack the nut, it is asking. The squirrel adds that if it cannot carry forest on its back, neither can the mountain crack the nuts.